Okay, before I finish installing the custom plenum, I'm going to go ahead and grind a little bit of the aluminum out of the head. It's kind of poured it to give it a little bit smoother flow, as well as finish my vacuum lines. Okay, with the rear of the motor pretty much done, I need to focus on making sure everything's connected, ready to go up here on the front side. I went ahead and pulled the intake off. As you can see, there's a little lip right there where that black is, right there on the intake. The little lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off with a grinder, just whoop, make sure everything's sealed good here so I don't get anything in the motor, and just flatten this off on all 4 cylinders. It's not much, it won't take a second. I've got the intake off as well. I'm going to be working on that. Figured out all my vacuum line setup. This is just all plastic tube that I ran just to mock everything up with. You can see it goes, I got a little bracket right here that 3 lines go through. One of these lines goes over here to the charcoal canister right there. That line will have a check valve in it because you don't want to blow air into the canister, you just want to suck from the canister. So this right here, this line is the line that will go back to my computer for my manifold absolute pressure. And then this last line going over the back here goes into the back of the fuel pressure regulator right here, so that it controls the fuel pressure. And all of that was mocked up coming up here, as well as the wastegate and everything else. Okay, now after mocking up all my vacuum lines, I've made some marks here on how these should be positioned in order to have all the vacuum lines flow smoothly. So I've basically taken this thing apart. I'm going to go ahead and kind of make some marks here that I know where the lines go. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull all these fittings out, pull everything off of the intake, sand, paint, clean, and paint this up and make it look really pretty. And then I'll start putting it all back together. The intake plenum all cleaned up, scrubbed down, and then I'm going to clean or wipe off and paint the outside. Okay, now that I have my intake all cleaned up and painted, I went ahead and bolted everything together. You can see back here the let's see where the plenum bolts to the spacer plate. It comes up here. You see it's all painted and clean, kind of an aluminum color. I have my throttle cable back in position. Got everything sealed here. Throttle position sensors plugged in. All the vacuum lines have now been run with silicone hose, mocked up as I had them earlier. They're all in. They're all pulled down tight with a little tie wrap on the end of each one. This is the check valve right here for the charcoal canister. Everything comes in and makes connections up under this tube here. See, I've got everything put back together. There's my solenoid for my wastegate. This is the out of control solenoid right up here. So basically everything is wired, everything's put together back here. I've gone ahead and finished bolting my turbo on, everything on down here, everything's bolted up tight, ready to go. All the wiring in the rear has been done. All the wiring here, got the, you can see I have the distributor cap and distributor all put back together, new O-rings, everything. These are all new silicone wires. Got the ignition coil on there. Got all my vacuum lines coming through here. Vacuum line, it goes right here. Right here. This one comes through from the intake plenum and will plug into the 5-put computer, which is going right here.